Coming up on today's show, Port Vale.
Wow.
Didn't really see that one coming against Sunderland. You've got a little smile on your face, Alan.
No. I mean, we couldn't have Sunderland going further than Newcastle.
Arsenal still battling on four fronts. When are we allowed to mention the quadruple word?
Max Dowman.
Oh my dear, what a talent. It's so exciting.
The way he glides past players.
Wow, doesn't he?
And his touch.
Yeah.
He's a special player. Come on, guys, give him my credit. João Pedro, I told you about him a couple of years ago. I told you.
What do you mean? It doesn't take a fucking genius to work out João Pedro's a good player.
Hello and welcome to The Rest is Football with Alan Shearer and Micah Richards and me, Gary Lineker. We're doing this Sunday. It's FA Cup weekend. This section of the show will be discussing the games that have already been played Friday and Saturday. Alan, you've been exceptionally busy. Micah, I'm not sure what you've been up to.
I was doing the same game as Alan as well.
You didn't do both though, did you?
Just one, yeah.
Exactly.
Just the Wrexham Chelsea game. Fantastic.
You can't do two games in a weekend. You can only work one day. You remember that?
Precisely my point, Alan, really.
That's what he was alluding to. I knew where he was going with it. But, Alan's a seasoned veteran at this sort of thing, aren't you? So,
yeah.
I felt a veteran this morning when I woke up. When I got in, I don't know, after extra time and travel on the motorway and all of that, I felt the right veteran, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, extra time in these FA Cup ties, I always think, just go straight to penalties. It's but particularly when you're broadcasting, because obviously the time is ticking on. You need to you want to get home at some point, and generally the extra time, it did sort it out. Obviously in the Wrexham Chelsea game that we'll come to in a while, but I don't know about extra time.
No, I'm about the same, especially with the games and everything that's going on, and just I would be in favour of just going straight to penalties.
Also think it gives the smaller clubs a little bit more of a chance.
Yeah. I
think generally, which we perhaps need to do, because we had a couple of classic cup ties this weekend where the underdogs had a real go, and Wrexham, if it had gone straight to penalties, would have had a chance, wouldn't they?
Especially with the firepower the big boys can bring on towards the end and into extra time as well,
Huge advantage with the big squads.
Which was yesterday for Chelsea. I mean, João Pedro, he was just a class above everyone yesterday when he came on for Chelsea.
Now I know why you like doing co-coms. Being at the ground yesterday was just outstanding. The Wrexham fans were brilliant, and the game just offered so much. It was like, was it going to go one way? And then you think Wrexham.
Micah, you mean at pitch side you were, rather than in the studio, even in the ground in the studio, it's slightly different. But pitch side and the co-coms is amazing atmosphere, isn't it?
It's top notch.
Were you pitch side last night, Micah?
Yeah, it was pitch side
for the whole before, during, and after.
Yeah, it was good actually. We had Ben Tozer, who's formerly of Wrexham, so it's always good, when you can get that insight from the club, someone who's played there. Wayne Rooney and me and Chappers, and it was just a good feeling from the start. You're outside, the fans are loud, you're having a bit of fun, and it's hectic, isn't it? Because not everything's great in terms of the sound, the technical aspect of it, but it just makes you work a lot harder, and you sort of have to be off the cuff and sort of ad-lib and stuff. So it was really fun.
I've done obviously some games like that. The one thing is you can miss some of the action because you have to go somewhere else, don't you? I mean, when the game's going on, you've got to go and sit down somewhere. And then there's always a period where you're either coming back for half time or you're coming back for the end of the game and something happens.
Oh, it's a nightmare.
And you miss it.
Right.
It's so much better though being involved in the atmosphere. I mean, I loved yesterday. I thought it just to get to arriving at the ground, the anticipation, the excitement, and all of that with Chelsea coming to town, and then the atmosphere in the ground when you go up in the gantry. Oh, it was just, and then the game didn't let anyone down. It was just it was a brilliant day.
It really was. And speaking of energy. This episode is brought to you by Fuse Energy. No one likes a panic buy on deadline day. The smart teams do their business early, not relying on dodgy fax machines.
Are they still a thing? Rushed medicals or watching a Plan B target become a Plan C.
The best deals are the calm ones, when you've still got options on the table.
Switching to Fuse Energy is one of those great deals. On average, customers save around £200 on their energy bills, and it only takes 3 minutes to switch. You get 24/7 customer support. You see exactly what you're using day by day, all in one app, and play a part in Fuse's mission to deliver energy that keeps getting cheaper for everyone.
And it doesn't stop there. Switch to Fuse Energy and you could have your question answered on the show.
Sign up to Fuse Energy at fuseenergy.com/football. Use the referral code FOOTBALL. And you could also win a 1990 England shirt signed by the three of us at The Rest is Football.
Well, Wrexham certainly gave Chelsea a run for their money, didn't they? I thought they, had a real go. They're exceptional.
Yeah, they were brilliant. I thought the energy they brought, they just fed off the crowd. Yeah, they were everything they did. They weren't afraid of anything. They just went at Chelsea, defended well, were creative in midfield, scored a couple of brilliant goals. Could have been more. Pushed Chelsea all the way. Chelsea didn't play well at all. Changed the team around, left a few out, changed the system, and was slightly fortunate to get through, I thought, but. Cup football, you just got to get through to the next round, and Chelsea did that. But it was just a great occasion.
How good was Sam Smith up front?
Wasn't he?
His hold-up play was amazing. He didn't stop running. He took his finish well. And I was looking at Delap, I was thinking, you couldn't tell at the time who was the Premier League striker.
Yeah.
And then Delap did something special, didn't he, for the first goal? He held it up, put it wide, and it was really good. It was interesting to see, obviously because Sam Smith plays in the championships where he's just probably used to that constant battling and all that. And he just looked like that was something he'd worked on and was used to a lot more. Whereas Delap, he was not used to someone coming really tight to him and he didn't quite know how to figure it out. And then he got to the grips of the game and did really well after that. But before that, he found it very difficult, didn't he?
He gave him a torrid time with three centre-halves. I just thought with his hold-up play, he's running in behind. His finish was brilliant, the touch, everything about it. I mean, you can point the finger at Chelsea and the goalkeeper and whatever, but I thought with the pass over the top, that everything was just brilliant. And I was really impressed with Wrexham, actually, again.
Yeah, just that couple of VARs went against them. They're just slight offside, just tiny.
What did you think of the red card, Gaz?
I thought it was a red, probably.
Yeah.
But I think yellow would have done.
I don't know. It was one of those where I would have been happy if the ref had stuck to his original decision. But I get why they looked at it. It was the pace and high and all of that thing.
It's another one of those. In real time, it flashes by so quickly, and it's nothing. In slow motion, it looks horrific.
Yeah.
I mean, slow motion shouldn't be allowed in those decisions, I don't think, personally. It makes everything look intentional.
Yeah, but I don't say he played up to the crowd, but because the crowd was so energized by the tackles and the players were feeling the atmosphere, he didn't need to make the challenge. He didn't. It was one of those where if you win it, but you don't need to go in like that. So... Yeah, I think it was more red than yellow, to be honest. I think they got that one right.
Yeah. Did you hear Rosinha's comments, I think it was prior to the game, about João Pedro?
No. What did he say?
I think he said he's up there in the levels of Kane and Lewandowski and people like that in the world now. Should be considered in that bracket. I think it's a tad premature.
Yeah, he's a very good player. He's got great ability, and there's no doubt he
got the potential to be.
Yeah, he was a level above when he came on yesterday. He was a level above everyone yesterday. He stood out a mile just with his ability and his balance and touch and technique and all of those things. But I wouldn't have him in those brackets. No.
Come on, guys, give me my credit. João Pedro, I told you about him a couple of years ago. I told you.
Here he is, the chief scout again. Chief scout's up again.
Here he is again. But when are you guys going to start listening to me? I try.
Micah, we've got no choice but listening to you. We do a podcast together. Of course, we listen to you constantly, and every now and again you'll get something right.
What do you mean? It doesn't take a fucking genius to work out João Pedro's a good player.
I spotted him at Watford, mate. I spotted him at Watford. And then when he goes to Brighton, I said, guys, this guy he's cooking. He's cooking something.
I do remember you saying that, Micah, in your. I'll back you up on that. I do remember.
Correct.
Do you remember? I'm thrilled for you.
What about the offside? I mean, I know it's difficult to argue with the offside as well. It's like, oh, goodness.
VAR again. No, I'll just leave it.
Doesn't sit right with the offside when someone's a toe offside. Doesn't sit right with me. I know that they'll turn around and say, well, it's factual, and I get that. And it just took so long as well, didn't it?
Can I ask you a question? You know, when you're doing the commentary, Al?
Yeah.
So sometimes, so you had goal line technology, didn't you? And you had VAR.
Yeah.
But you didn't have semi-automated, did you?
No.
Does that affect you in any way when you're making that decision? Because you're in it. You have to make that decision and make that decision quickly, you know? You don't really have the time to say, okay, I've got that to protect me, you know?
Yeah, we've got a couple of screens with us, and one is the actual live television, what you and what everyone else is seeing, but we've also got one in the middle of us, which actually has got like 4 little screens and showing us different angles of that particular incident. So whilst they're going and doing the replay, we can also, whilst we're talking, look at the freeze frames of another screen. But I was looking at it thinking this is such a tight call, because I think Tosun, who was at the right at the front, it was his left leg, I think, that was perhaps might have been the one that they were taking the line off. And whatever they did, it was going to be very, very tight. So it was too tight to call. It was just a matter of waiting and hearing and listening to why they were coming up with that decision.
And one more thing, could you hear what the VAR are saying? And on Premier League games, you can hear. But for FA Cup, can you hear what...
We can hear them coming to their decision. I couldn't hear them talking and being involved with the referee if they were beforehand. But we knew maybe 2 or 3 seconds before, because we can hear them telling the referee that they're going to disallow it.
The most cut-up shots in the game were Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds. We saw them than most of the players. Saw more of them.
We could see them, because they were about 10 yards to the left, maybe less, 8-10 yards to the left of us, so we could see them. Their reactions to throughout the game. Where you could have just sat and watched them and made a program about it. They were loving it.
Yeah.
And rightly so, because Wrexham were brilliant. It's
incredible what's happened to Wrexham since they've arrived at the football club. I know it's become, a TV show and all these things, but I mean, Wrexham fans must be absolutely loving it.
Incredible.
I know they got beaten in this
might be
one,
a fourth, but
yeah,
wow.
They've got a chance, haven't they? I certainly think they might make the playoffs. In which case, they'll have a chance of going up and Premier League football.
Financially, because I don't quite understand. You'll know a bit more than me, I think, on this, maybe Alan, actually. With your financial fair play, how does it work? How have they been able to do that? So I know the journey. I've watched the show and everything, but I don't understand the financial. So you've got one side who's saying, well, they've just bought themselves there. And the other side was like, well, they've not actually just bought superstars, and they've managed to do it the right way and build sort of a team and that togetherness to get them up. Is that fair?
I guess with the money that's coming in and sponsorship that those guys can bring to that as well, I guess that's all part of the revenue, and that's one of the reasons why they can. Yeah. I mean, when you look at their squad, they've got a really big squad. The forward options that they had yesterday, and we're bringing on as well. I know it's not Premier League standard, but at that level, then it's a pretty good standard to have. But I guess it's all the sponsorships and what have you that those guys are bringing in, and TV and everything else.
Yeah, I think it all adds up. And I suppose as well, the spending levels don't have to be that huge at that level to make a difference.
Okay.
It's not like the Premier League, is it? If they get up to the Premier League, then they'll seriously have to spend, you would suspect. Whereas, an extra few million will make a massive difference at the levels of League Two, League One, and even in the Championship. It obviously gets more competitive. With this one, they're in sixth place at the moment, 3 points above the team. Derby, I think it is, in seventh place. They've also got a game in hand on a couple of teams above them. So I think in terms of their overall spending, it'll be interesting to see how they can cope, because we all know, don't they, the gulf between the Championship and even the spending in the Championship and that of the Premier League is vastly different. But boy, oh boy, they've had a good time. We're doing this before this part of the show, before the Sunday fixtures, but there were two classic cup ties, Wrexham, Chelsea, and then Mansfield. Mansfield had a real good go, didn't they?
Proper cup tie again. I think even when you look at the pitch, it was like a pitch from the 80s, wasn't it?
Actually, if you'd have plonked that pitch back in the 80s, and I know it looked bobbly and a little bit muddy, but at this time of year, you'd have gone, oh, what a great pitch.
I actually, when I walked on the pitch at Wrexham yesterday, it was part of me was thinking, goodness me, you're coming to a Championship club. And the pitch is immaculate, but then when you looked at Mansfield, it certainly wasn't, was it? But they put up a right good fight as well. I was watching that in the car on the way to the Wrexham game, and they give Arsenal a right good game, didn't they?
Legally, I hope.
Of course.
But yeah, Reece Oates impressed. I thought, it's great to see Nigel Clough on the touchline. Obviously, I played with him for England, and you probably did as well, didn't you? Because you came in at the end of his career. Yeah.
I don't know.
Very intelligent footballer. He's one of those that probably, he'd be a false 9 now. You'd describe him, or possibly a 10. But intelligent footballer, didn't give the ball away. Good to play with. And Arsenal still battling on four fronts. When are we allowed to mention the quadruple word?
Before we go on to that, Max Dowman.
Oh my, what a talent. It's so exciting.
Still 16, isn't he?
16. Do you think he can sneak into the England squad?
Theo did it 17, didn't he? Theo Walcott did it 17, didn't he?
Right, if he is that good, in Spain, they'd go, in you come, son. And you'll, like Lamine Yamal, he played him, right? He played him from when he was, 16. So, but we won't do that because everyone's so cautious. But, he's been out injured in that sound. I jest a little. But, I mean, he's been out for 3 months and he came in and you thought against, he's playing in men's football and he looks like almost the best player on the pitch. Every now and again he does a thing and you go, oh.
The way he glides past players.
Wow, doesn't he?
And his touch.
Yeah.
If you watch him on the half turn, he always turns the right way as well, away from the danger. He is a special player. But in terms of England, he's not going to play enough for Arsenal, is he? No. But in terms of his talent, woof. And he's up against Cole Palmer and Foden and Saka and all these players. So it's come a little bit early for him, but he really does look special.
Yeah, it does. I was just watching the game and I was going, oh boy. Boy, it's one of those, isn't it, where you can see, I mean, obviously there are dangers and we know that. You can get carried away with young players. But even Mikel Arteta, I've never heard a manager, he enthuses about him, doesn't he? He talks about him. And I think he's probably in good hands with Mikel.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with bigging up players. But what I've got cautious of is knocking them down sometimes.
Well, you can't help it, can you? You see it when you see him. They're showing great ability and great. I know that he's only young, but when they're that good, you have to talk about them, which then puts pressure on. But you have to accept that.
You cannot ignore the evidence of your eyes.
Yeah,
I would say. There's been a lot of chat this season, hasn't there? And we've been involved in it about Arsenal and their style of football, but. Let's flip it a little bit here. They're the first team in the Premier League to reach 100 goals in all competitions. So maybe some of that criticism's a little bit undeserved. I think we've defended them pretty much for most of the time.
I'm not having the criticism. I don't get it. And I said before, they finished top of the Champions League group.
Exactly. They were brilliant.
They're in the final. They're in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. They're 7 points clear in the Premier League. Yet people are finding a way to criticise them. Do me a favour.
Yeah.
From any standard, whoever you're looking at, in every position, wherever they are in cup competition or league or whatever, they're absolutely flying. And forget about any other comment or any other negative comment. Forget that. They're flying, and they couldn't do any better at this moment in time.
And some of it obviously comes from their own fans. You see these things like Arsenal TV and all that, where these ultra... I mean, I know it's clickbait nonsense and they get people ranting for no good reason, but I do find it absurd. I mean, you can, we've done it ourselves. We forensically look at some performances and we evaluate where their strengths are and their weaknesses, and you can point things out in certain games, but that record this season, it's extraordinary.
Yeah. All I would say is, and I don't want to be the negative one, is they've not won anything just yet.
Yeah, that's fine, but we're only talking about up to now. Up to now, they're pretty faultless.
Well, it depends though, haven't they? In terms of results, yes. In terms of style of play, when you're watching them and analysing them, and they score a lot of set pieces, and the goals that are scored have been a lot of own goals, I don't think it's wrong for people to pick that out, but I also don't think it's right for people to be negative just as to say Arsenal don't play good football. The objective at the end of the season is to win the league. However you get over the line, who cares?
Yeah.
But the point I was trying to make a couple of weeks ago, I think Arsenal are favourites for the Champions League because it suits them more. I think and we've made this point, especially with someone like Anthony Gordon, where in the Champions League, it is a little bit more stretched. Teams have a go a little bit more, so it's giving him more room to score a goal. Yeah. In the Premier League, everyone's going to the low block, and I thought Man City would have the capabilities to break teams down more when they're going into the low block. And that's all my opinion is. If Arsenal win the league by playing this, who cares? You know what I mean? Yeah. At the end of the day, the objective is to win, and it's as simple as that.
Of course it is. Always has been. Speaking of Manchester City, sorry, Al.
Hey! Come on, Ali boy!
During the call comms yesterday, I got wind and Newcastle going 1-0 up, and obviously I couldn't see anything and show my excitement or anything. But then by the time we were walking down back to pick my bag up to get back into the car, it was 1-1. And then I got into the car, and within 10 minutes, it was 2-1. And then, it was 3-1.
We'll set the scene now. We was down at Wrexham. You know what it's like, guys. You do it for 25 years. You're in the truck. You're doing your prep, your notes for the game. And obviously, the later game is Newcastle, Man City. And he goes to me, hey, we're going to beat you today. And I said, no.
You need to work on your Geordie accent, Micah.
I fancy us today. We're going to beat you today. And then when they scored first, I was thinking, oh, shit. Yeah. In the group I'm going to get. And then Mamouche, come on. I mean, You see, you bought into the hype, didn't you? That Newcastle at home, the back, the energized, Man City can't defend and all that sort of stuff. You got dismantled, Alan.
I can't argue with that, Micah. Man City with a better team. They showed the levels that the rest have got to somehow get to and catch, or like Newcastle. I mean, I did look at the team they put out and thought, we've got an even better chance here. But to be fair, they were. Particularly second half. I mean, last 10 minutes of the first half, City were better. And Newcastle never had a sniff or a kick in the second half. And Man City battered us in the second half. So can't argue with that, unfortunately, as much as it hurts.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you look at City at the moment. Obviously, they're playing this new system, box in midfield and then kind of two up top. And we talked in the previous episodes about Haaland within that role has to change. But does that suit Marmouche more than it perhaps suits Erling? Perhaps Erling's the only one in this system that doesn't get the best out of it.
Yeah, I think for Marmouche, I remember the game before. It was at Newcastle, wasn't it? We got a good away at Newcastle.
Yeah, he loves playing Newcastle, yeah.
And then it was Liverpool, wouldn't it? And I said, well, what the point I was trying to make was when Haaland goes to Anfield, he always has that battle with Van Dijk. And that's what Liverpool are going to be expecting. Would it be good to introduce Haaland a little bit later in the game when the game is open, so he comes on fresh. So in answer to your question, the way Man City want to play with that two up front and have movement and runners and rotations, it does suit Mamouche really well, because remember when we first signed Mamouche and it was all about what is he good at, what is he going to bring? And it was that run from outside to win, which is absolutely perfect. And Haaland's tried to do that. He's worked so hard for the team. His movement's been better. He's tried to get involved in the play a lot more, but he's no longer in the center of the goal. Whereas Mamouche is that type of player where he can play wide left, he can play number 10, he can play number 9, he can even play as a number 8. So in terms of that, it probably does suit him a lot better. But when Haaland's fit, in terms of his goal scoring record, you'd always have Haaland that. But I think it suits the way Man City want to play with that fast breaks and the movements and the rotations.
What about Newcastle? It does seem to be the issue of the summer's recruitment at the moment. You're having a bit of a rant on our group chat.
Yeah, I just look at City yesterday when Marmouche, Savinho, Semenyo, look at their recruitment, and I look at Newcastle's recruitment, and there's no doubt it's hurt Newcastle what they've done in last summer to set them back. How they try and recover from that this summer is going to be huge for them. But most of the players that they've bought haven't worked. Malik Chow being the exception, Jacob Ramsey a little bit, but that has hurt Newcastle without a doubt. And again, he persists in playing, or he did yesterday, putting Voltemada back into midfield, and he's not a midfielder. He can't play in central midfield. But I also think he'll look at it and think, well, Elanga hasn't done enough. Wissa, when he came on, he didn't do enough. So it's not just Voltemada. I don't want to be seen to be picking on him, but recruitment's been poor in the summer.
Yeah. Most definitely. You were at Molineux, Alan, as well, to see Liverpool. The one thing I was a little bit surprised in that game, Wolves, again, we've had these conversations before. You know, Wolves have got a bit of momentum, won a couple of games, including against Liverpool just a few days prior to this particular encounter. And they, made about 6 changes.
6.
Now, I know a lot of teams do, but I just thought to myself, you're going down anyway. I mean, yes, they've got a decent run of games, but they're mild. It would be an absolute miracle if they stayed up. But, you know, if you got to the quarterfinal of the FA Cup, that would give you a real lift. And you never know from there. Leicester won it a few years ago. We never thought we would, but went all the way. I don't know, A, you lose momentum. B, you're out of the cup competition, which is always disappointing. And 3, you're going to go down. You've got no other games. And also you don't play now because they're playing on Friday. That's at least the following weekend. You've got a nice big gap. So it baffles me a little bit.
I was the same, yeah. The one change they had to because one was suspended. So, but yeah, to make that many changes and to bring players in who are on the fringe, especially after you've had a really good result against them 3 days earlier, you think, here we go again. But yeah, it wasn't a great game, particularly first half, pretty dull and boring. I thought Liverpool were poor in forward positions other than their Rio Ungomore, isn't it?
He looks a real talent, doesn't he?
Yeah, very, very good. Very good. He was the best player by a mile in the first half. Brought energy, brought ability to go past players. So he was the bright spark in the first half, but then second half it was Liverpool. Andy Robertson's effort changed the game. As soon as he got that first goal, you just felt that was it, and yeah, Wolves were done.
Let's get a fullback's perspective on one of the Premier League's great fullbacks, Andy Robertson. Do you think he should have played more this season, Mike? I mean, it's easy in hindsight. They're bringing Kirkes. They spent a few bob on him. He comes in and he struggled a little bit. But you could see even Andy Robertson at the end, he did say, didn't he? Well, it took him a bit of time to settle in. And Robertson, I think they've really missed those. I know he's still there, Robertson, Andy, but he's not playing regularly. I think they've really missed him and Trent, that unbelievable attacking creativity that both of those players have had, as well as obviously Roberts was more up and down than probably Trent in that sense, defensively as well. But I mean, that creativity is a big miss for them on both sides, I would say.
Yeah, it has been. But I think the feeling was amongst Liverpool fans they needed to get someone in, Kirkes. So I think they did the right thing.
Yeah. Well, he's in his 30s.
Yeah, and it's the output that he does in the games, Robertson. He's up and down and up and down. And when you get in your 30s, not that he can't do it because he's a fit lad, but There were some games last season where you thought, ooh. And I don't like, a lot of people are saying his legs are gone. And I didn't think his legs are gone, but there were certain aspects where he wasn't quite getting forward at the right times and he was a little bit late sort of defending. But all that might have been is just the amount of games he was playing at the time. And he needed a little bit of a rest. So I think it was right to get Kirkes, but I would have played him more, especially in the bigger games, definitely, just because of his experience and the timing of knowing that position, and especially at Anfield as well. It's difficult for Kirkes coming in, and he was outstanding at Bournemouth.
Oh, yeah.
We all thought, as pundits, even journalists, that he would fit in seamlessly in terms of what he can offer that side going forward, and he was quite reckless and rash at the start, but he's sort of grown into his position there. But in terms of the battle, you always need someone who can fill in there. And I feel like there's horses for courses, I would say. If it was a big game, I would play Robertson. If I need a little bit more energy up and down, then I would play Kirkes.
He got a big decision to make on Tuesday, I think it is. They play Galatasaray away. And after Robertson's performance with his goal and his assist, Slot's got a big decision to make, whether he keeps Robertson in or brings Kirkes back in.
You've got to play Robertson.
Me, I would, yeah.
It was as simple as that.
Experience as well in a big game like that away from home.
Yeah, just know-how, isn't it?
Yeah.
And experience. I would definitely play Robertson, without doubt.
Well, as we speak, quarter-finalists, we've got Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea, which is quite tasty looking lineup so far. More games to be decided later. Alan and myself will be on later. What are you up to, Micah?
What? Alan's doing another double? Is he feeling all right? Wow.
Unbelievable, Micah. Don't worry, we've got you back again, Micah. We'll cover for you. It's fine.
Ah, lovely.
Where are you off, Micah?
I've got Baller League training.
Baller League training?
Baller League training, mate. I've got some tactics I need to do, honest to God.
Well, they need to do a bit of training your team, the way you've performed, I'd say.
After we got beat by Alan last year, if we get beat by you this season, I'm retiring. I can't bear it. The amount of time and effort and energy I've put into that thing. For you to beat us first game, honestly, I wanted to cry.
Make sure you get your training all right, or we'll just come and kick your ass again.
Can I just get one clear? This is not Specsavers' best worst team, is it? Not yet. Alan and myself will be back shortly. This episode is brought to you by Hotels.com. Make your next trip work for you. Hotels.com just rolled out a game-changing feature called Save Your Way, and it's as simple as it sounds. When you book a trip as a Hotels.com member, you decide how to use your savings. Choose to take the instant savings now or bank the savings as rewards for later. It's your call. Envision converting discounts on this week's stay into rewards for a luxurious beach getaway next year. No complicated math, no blackout dates, just you choosing how to make your travels work harder for you. Only at Hotels.com. Save Your Way is available to loyalty members in the US and UK on hotels with member prices. Other terms apply. See site for details. Welcome back to The Rest is Football. Just Alan Shearer and me, Gary Lineker now. We've just been watching the Sunday games in the FA Cup. And Port Vale.
Wow.
Incredible. 70-odd years since they reached this stage of the competition. Didn't really see that one coming against Sunderland. You've got a little smile on your face, Alan.
No. I mean, we couldn't have Sunderland going further than Newcastle. Yeah, it was even just looking at the pitch, we said earlier, didn't we, about the pitches at that level. I mean, they're bottom of League One.
Yeah.
So yeah, brilliant for them. I mean, they put on a show. They reacted to the atmosphere, and I thought they were worthy winners, to be honest.
I thought they did remarkably well considering their position. Obviously, they only just got past Bristol because they had a waterlogged and it was delayed until this week. Ben Waine scored in that one and then did it again, and
his celebration, Alan? Did you notice?
That, yes. Flashed up my phone started flashing up, and then I thought I'll tune in and watch it, and I watched it all after that. So, and then commented on it afterwards and watched his interview, and I heard his interview, and he said, "Well, I never really saw him live because I was a bit too young." I'm thinking, "Oh God,
welcome to my world, Al."
Anyway, but really pleased for him. It was a really good header. Great for Port Vale, and I mean, what a time to be a fan there. I know they're bottom of the league, but to have a quarter-final in the chance of one of the big boys, and financially for the club, would be huge.
Massively important. Yeah, he did the Shearer celebration March to 8. He's a Newcastle fan as well, obviously. So, and to get one over on Sunderland, it would have meant a lot to him.
Absolutely, yeah. I wonder how long he'd been planning that one. I know. Good for him, pleased for him.
You'd have been an optimist to think you were going to score the winning goal in that game, wouldn't you, against Sunderland? But he really managed to do it.
Amazing.
They defended really well as well, I thought.
Yeah, they did. I mean, the pitch made it difficult, but they have to play on that every week. But if you're a Premier League player, you're expected to go there and play and handle it and do whatever. But Sunderland didn't, and they got dumped out of the cup, and a bit embarrassing for them, but magnificent for Port Vale.
I suppose they're really just not used to playing on surfaces like that anymore. I mean, week in, week out, we would do it, particularly at this time of year. I suppose once you get accustomed to these perfect surfaces, it must be like, what the hell is this?
Well, every pitch in our time, when we started off in the 80s and 90s, every pitch you went to was like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Particularly this time of year, it's in sort of January, February, March, all of them were terrible, weren't they?
Yeah.
So, but when you even Championship, I guess I said to you earlier about Wrexham's, it was immaculate yesterday for them and Chelsea, but slightly different at Port Vale today. And at Mansfield, as we said.
Yeah, great result for the manager there, John Brady. He only came in at the turn of the year. I bet he never thought he'd have an FA Cup run.
Not to the quarterfinals. No. I mean, you can imagine how that place is feeling now and how they'll all be looking forward to the draw. They'll all be sat watching it, hoping for one of the big boys at home, and they deserve it. Well done them, man.
Yep, the draw's tomorrow night, isn't it?
Yeah. Monday evening,
Yeah, so I think that all their fans and the players will all be waiting by. I mean, the chances are they're going to get one of the big boys. I hope so. Obviously, 4 of them all went through on Saturday. Yep. So I think they'd be happy with any one of those.
It'd be amazing, wouldn't it, if they got one of those big boys at home?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
Or away,
like
even.
Chelsea, Liverpool, City, or Arsenal. How brilliant would that be?
I wonder whether as players, whether they'd prefer to be drawn away and to play at one of those.
I think at home. I mean, get them at home on that pitch.
Yeah,
be great, wouldn't it, for those? I mean, Arsenal have already had it, haven't they, when they went to Mansfield yesterday?
Yeah,
get one of those boys at Port Vale on that pitch. It would be great and a great atmosphere.
Proper cup tie, proper quarter final. That would be no question.
Good, great story.
Yeah. Elsewhere, I mean, Southampton lower league side than Fulham, obviously, but it didn't feel like a big cup shop because, I mean, in terms of size and stature, they're probably similar sort of clubs. Obviously, Southampton got relegated.
Yeah, but I had no sympathy for Fulham because they're safe in the league. You make that many changes, and I know the manager will say we've got to keep the squad happy and they've got players to look after and what have you. But when you make that many changes, then and you get beaten, I've got no sympathy for them at all. I just don't. I get it when the clubs are in Europe or they've played in the Club World Cup and all of these things. I get that. I understand that more. When you're in Fulham's situation, no, I don't. And Wolves the other night was something similar. When you're making that many changes and you've been dumped out, then you deserve to go out.
I understand it if it's, say, the 3rd round or the 4th round, because you're miles off the likelihood of doing well. But when you're one game away from the quarter-final, there's a chance you could go all the way at that point.
Well, there's a chance you even get, with all due respect, we've been talking about Port Vale. There's a chance you could get Port Vale at home now, and that should be a buy really for a Premier League club, as good as it gets. But I don't know. I don't understand that when there's a place at a quarter-final at stake.
Exactly. I mean, and even then he waited until the 89th minute before he brought on Josh King and Raul Jimenez.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Took his penalty though. well, didn't he? Ross Stewart. I kept thinking, Rod Stewart? Rod Stewart? A couple of times.
Yeah, stuck the way well, eh?
Yeah, really.
Pressure.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. And he, I think he's one of those that could get in the Scotland squad for the World Cup.
Yeah, took the way well. Looked really calm, didn't he? Yeah, it was good.
Ben Waine might be at the World Cup as well with New Zealand.
Oh, yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah, yeah.
So,
I hope he is, yeah.
I mean, something like that happening in, these high-profile games, it's definitely going to help their cause.
Yep.
Leeds comfortably took care of Norwich. Daniel Farke's in the stand. Didn't jump up for joy when this good, because obviously he's a couple of, took Norwich up twice, didn't he, from the Championship to the Premier League.
What about Sean Longstaff's finish and touch and finish? The first goal, eh?
Oh, I know. What a goal that was. Yeah.
Bloody hell, that was amazing. I mean, the touch, and then for him to swivel around and then the volley, it was a fantastic finish, it was. Just superb.
Yeah, I've had Goodmanson in either on my bench or in my fantasy team for weeks and weeks now, and he's just delivered no points at all. And then FA Cup scores a goal and gets an assist for Longstaff's bloody game.
He did really well, actually, yeah. I mean, the ball back for Longstaff, and then, of course, his goal as well. So, yeah, he did well. Big result for Leeds, I think, because the momentum and the belief and the confidence and all of those things that we spoke about with Fulham. I mean, they're actually in a relegation battle, Leeds, aren't they? So, good for them to get that result as well, and they can look forward to a quarter-final as well.
Yeah, and it makes everyone feel good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we played in an era where you played in all the games regardless, and I know things have changed and there's big squads, and you can understand it with the likes of Arsenal and Manchester City. They're playing in European football as well. They're in all competitions, and they've got squads that they can do it without really debilitating their team too much. So I get it from that point of view. But if you're just playing once a week and it's a bit of a cup run, I'm totally with you on that.
And there's an international break coming up soon as well, by the way. So a lot of the players will get a bit of a rest as well in a couple of weeks' time. So no, I don't buy into that. No, they deserve to be knocked out. It's got no sympathy for them.
Yeah, same. Just moving away from the FA Cup, just to finish, because I haven't really got your views on, what's going on at Spurs at the moment. So, I mean, talk about crisis. Crisis of confidence, crisis of belief, just on and off the pitch. It just seems a bit of a mess. They've brought in Tudor, obviously, 3 games, 3 defeats. Saw him in his press conference and he just didn't really seem to know what to say. I saw them ask him about a couple of the injuries, how they closed certain players, and he just went, I don't know. It was like, I mean, obviously I've got an allegiance towards Tottenham. I've got a lot of Spurs friends, and they're all aghast at the moment.
Well, there's a real possibility, danger that Spurs could be relegated.
Imagine.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, that stadium, that training ground. Oh, I mean, I've been to the training ground and obviously been to the stadium.
Me too.
Which is the best around, but for that to be relegated in the Championship would be, I don't know how they'll recover from it. Yeah. It would be just like incredible, because we all thought last year, we thought, one off, they had a poor season,
a lot of injuries, blah blah blah.
No, they won in Europe, but all of that. That's not going to happen again. Goodness me, they're actually worse this year than, and I mean, just you just said it. They are a mess on and off the pitch, which is just incredible when you think of the size of the football club. So, and they've got their next 2 games are what? Atletico Madrid away, and Liverpool away. Oh,
I know.
How did they finish 4th, by the way, in the Champions League group?
Well, I'm just thinking maybe they're just the European kings, and they're going to go and win the Champions League and get relegated.
Oh. Goodness me.
It's mad how they finished 4th. I mean, what would you do if you were in like Tottenham now? Because they brought in this guy. Obviously, he's got no real history of the Premier League at all. He was at Juve. Didn't really go that well for him there. It was a strange appointment. Well,
I went into Newcastle in similar circumstances. I went with 8 games to go.
Yeah, but at least you knew the Premier League, and you certainly knew the football.
Yeah, but it's really really difficult to get when there's a crisis in confidence. The belief is all-time low, and it's really really tough to go in there. And I understand what he's trying to say and doing, but I don't know, it's like, It just looks a mess from the outside, and everything just feels as if it's doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Which I guess if someone else had gone in, they might have had a better chance of lifting their morale and all of that. I don't know, but somehow, and I don't know how, but somehow they've got to scrape a point or scrape a draw from somewhere to get a bit of belief back in that team, in that squad.
I don't think it would be a bad idea to bring someone like Harry Redknapp in. Not someone like, but Harry Redknapp. I know it sounds a bit mad and he's been out of the game for a while, but you know what he's like, that big personality, lifting everybody, coming in. I mean, it's in a moment of crisis, a little bit like Martin O'Neill's done on a couple of occasions now at Celtic and lifted them. I mean, God, the thought of them going down.
By the way, it's not all the manager's fault, you know that. It's all the coach's fault. It's the other people in the club have to take their share of responsibility.
Yeah. And also, I mean, that's 2 seasons running now where they've had so many injuries. I mean, enormous amount of injuries. They must need to look at that as well. Because, I mean, it might just be completely bad luck or I don't know. 2
seasons on the spin. I don't know. One, you think, we'll accept that and understand that. I mean, everyone's going to get injuries, but the number that they've had is incredible.
Do you think they'll go down?
I think they might just. I mean, I'm not. I've got no confidence in it, but they may just have enough. But with what I'm seeing, I'm just saying that because of maybe the names in their squad rather than the ability. And for too long they haven't performed. But I don't know. There's something saying to me that they might just scrape it, but I've got no confidence with that at all.
I mean, West Ham have definitely improved.
Yeah, at least they're fighting and scrapping. Forest going to City, as we said.
Forest, yeah. At
least those 2 teams, for their fans, you say, well, if we're going, lads or guys, we're going down with a fight. And that in itself is a good thing. But Spurs, at the minute, you don't see any of that, do you?
No, it's very concerning indeed. Okay, Al, let's go and call it a day there. Goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.